Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting live from Lagos and Abuja. Here are the stories making our headlines this hour. More trouble for the PDP as the party loses to opposition APC. The Nigeria Medical Association begins a 5-day warning strike nationwide. Finance Minister Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala explains unremitted funds, says figures are being reconciled. An online Vanguard report publishes a damaging letter reportedly written by Iyabo Obasanjo to her father, accusing him of lacking the moral justification to criticize President Goodluck Jonathan. A reminder here that all our top stories can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. But if you're on the move, then you must visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. We'll do more now. You can interact with Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. So if you have a picture or video to share with us, all you need to do is download the Channels TV Android application on your device. Swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions to share your report, pictures and videos. We can now bring you the views of a Lagos-based legal practitioner, Mr. G.T. Ogunye, on the defection of 39 PDP members in the lower house to the APC, which he says will affect the balance of power in the National Assembly. But he says it may also prove decisive for other political actors. Mr. Ogunye pointed out that more PDP lawmakers are likely to jump ship in order to protect their individual political interests. He, however, believes former Vice President Atiku Abubakar may not make the move to the APC unless it favors his presidential ambition.
The defection of 39 PDP House of Reps member to the opposition party would tilt the scale and the balance of legislative power within that lower chamber in favor of the APC. Don't forget that even before now, even before the gale of defection swept over the PDP, the candidates of the PDP for the speakership of the House of Rep was not the candidate that eventually emerged as the speaker. It took a coalition of efforts of the political parties, particularly the opposition parties, to enable the speaker emerge. That being so, now that we now have a formal defection of PDP House of Reps members from the ruling party, it only means that the ruling party has been further weakened in the House, and that for the executive branch of government at the federal level that is constituted by the PDP, it has become more difficult for that branch to have its bills passed, to have resolutions friendly to the PDP passed on the floor of the lower chamber. From the legal standpoint, the fact that the PDP Senate, the House of Reps members who are defecting can say that their party before now had been embroiled in crisis and division. We also stand in good stead to switch over successfully without much consequence in terms of any threat to the laws. This defection, we must warn, has nothing to do with principle. It has nothing to do with ideology. It has nothing to do with welfare for the people of Nigeria. It has everything to do with retaining power. The idea is that the PDP right now is regarded as a sinking boat. And so, if you are a member of the House of Rep, and the governor, who is the leader of the party in your state, has defected to another party, the best way to lose your seat or not to be fielded in the coming election is to sit tight with the whole party from which the governor had defected. So it has nothing to do with principle. It has everything to do with survival tactics. Now, if former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is still nursing the hope to become the president, he may not want to really move to the APC, because unlike in the past, when the AC platform as a presidential candidate was available for him, that's not the situation now. And so you probably feel that there's no point in moving to an APC that already has an array of presidential hopefuls or aspirants. He's not going to go to a party just to be a builder of that party. Now, if he realizes that there is no hope of the possibility of his emergence as a candidate for the PDP, he may move to the APC eventually, realizing that a PDM as a political party standing on its own, or any other party he may wish to form with others, will not guarantee that he will be elected as president of Nigeria. So this is an area of political calculation. This is an area of reading the situation carefully and deciding what to do.
Lagos-based legal practitioner Mr. GT Ogunye speaking about the defection of 39 PDP members in the lower house of Assembly, in the lower house to the APC. He was speaking there with our correspondent Charles Aruka. And to other topical matters too, former Senator Iyabo Obasanjo has reportedly written a damning letter to her father, accusing him of lacking the moral justification to criticize President Goodluck Jonathan's 2015 ambitions. And even though the letter was meant to be largely private between her and her father, she accused the former president of pointing fingers at someone over what he himself is guilty of. In the letter, she states, "For you to accuse someone else of what you so obviously practiced yourself tells of your narcissistic, megalomaniac personality." End of quote. Acknowledging that there are very enormous issues currently plaguing the country, she said she was surprised that her father would be the one to publish the indicting letter to President Jonathan. Senator Obasanjo further stated that her purported letter was not in support of President Jonathan or the APC or any other group or person, but merely an outpouring from her soul to God. Let's join Abuja now, where Linda Akibe is standing by. Hi, Linda. Great to see you.
Now, in the education sector, a huge protest today trails the suspension of the chairman and pro-chancellor of the Governing Council of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, Dr. Emeka Enejere. Our correspondent, who is in Enugu, says that virtually all the staff, both the lecturers and other workers, protested Dr. Enejere's suspension. The federal government had yesterday suspended Dr. Enejere with immediate effect. The supervising Minister of Education, Mr. Nyesom Wike, who made the announcement in Abuja, did not state why Dr. Enejere was suspended. The convocation of the proposed national dialogue may take place early next year. This assurance was given by President Goodluck Jonathan while receiving the report of the Presidential Committee constituted to look into the modalities for the convocation of the dialogue. The President directed the Minister of Finance, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, to make funds available to that so that the conference will take off immediately.
Many say was like bowing to pressure from well-meaning Nigerians. President Goodluck Jonathan had on October 1 set up a committee on national conference headed by Senator Femi Okuromi. Barely 2 months after the inauguration, the committee is back in the council chambers with their report.
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman of the committee said that their findings indicate that majority of Nigerians are waiting for the conference to kick off. He debunked insinuations that there is a minority report by the committee.
The intensity of the passion with which the masses have embraced the idea of the national conference is such that erstwhile skeptics have been turned into believers, and the politically driven opponents have been calmed into passive acquiescence. Nigerians are now only waiting for the conference to begin.
What to name the conference was an issue from the onset, but President Jonathan says it is no longer an issue today.
Chairman consistently used the word national conference, so I assume that that is the name the committee have agreed. That is fine. So I welcome you all. So I welcome you all to these chambers today. The submission of the reports of the Presidential Advisory Committee on National Conference marks another milestone in our march towards building a better and more cohesive society.
The president reiterated his belief in a united Nigeria. He also responded to those who think he has a personal interest in the convocation of the conference.
The proposed dialogue offers this unique opportunity for us to deepen our democracy and strengthen our nation, rather than to destroy or weaken our union. I would like to assure all Nigerians that we will partner with all stakeholders to convene this dialogue, whose outcome will add value to the process of building a stronger, united, more democratic and stable Nigeria. This discussion process is for the benefit of the entire nation. Every Nigerian, as individual or as a group, has an important role to play to ensure its success. I believe that by the time we conclude this conference, there will be fewer open letters that Nigerians will read. I've already directed the coordinating Minister of the Economy and Honorable Minister of Finance to make adequate financial provisions so that this conference will take off immediately we enter next year.
No matter how remarkable the submission of the report is to the presidency, those who are watching are waiting to see how the proposed conference will bring about the much-needed equity, unity, and peace in a country said to be riddled with acrimony. Chukwuma Onwekusi, Channels Television News.
2015 may be some months away, but that has not deterred the Kengema Community Unity Forum, KUF, from pushing for the Kalabari Nation to produce the next governor of Rivers State in South Nigeria. At an event in Abonema in Akukutoru local government area of Rivers State, the leader of the KUF, Mr. Subomabo Jakrik, says the Kalabari Nation has been shortchanged and the time to change that tide is now.
This is a gathering of the Kalabari people in Rivers State under the auspices of the Kengema Unity Forum. And before the main business of the day, they celebrated their coming together, singing and dancing. The convener of the meeting and leader of the Kengema Unity Forum, Mr. Sobomabo Jakrik, explained that the group's primary concern for now is to unite the Kalabari Nation and make them key in to the idea of working with people of like minds towards producing the next chief executive of Rivers State come 2015.
Considering our activities, our contributions in the polity of the country, we saw it that it is mandatory that we come together to be able to have an elected governor, a Kalabari, God-fearing Kalabari governor.
Another agenda the group is working on is to ensure the re-election of President Goodluck Jonathan as a result of what they describe as his transformational leadership.
President Goodluck Jonathan is the president that is laying the solid foundation for the new Nigeria. Now,
when you're building a skyscraper, much of the monies and much of the work goes into the foundation. President Goodluck Jonathan will believe he's laying solid foundation for future Nigeria.
For the first time, a South president is on seat. He should make it the second time. In fact, if he fails, he would have failed us. If he fails to contest, he would have failed the Kalabari Kingdom.
After all is said and done, leaders and members of the KUF marched round major streets of Abonima town with the President Jonathan's banner to show the extent of their commitment to the project.
And that's all from Abuja. Back to you, Amarachi.
Thanks a lot, Linda. And when the News at 10 returns, the CBN launches a consumer protection campaign in the northwest zone of the country. That is on Business News. Do join us again.